So on Monday's video, we checked out the Blister Compact Roadster, which is basically just a mod that took the original Blister Compact and turned it into a convertible version, which actually, by the way, turns out was a real thing. They actually made a convertible CRX. How about that? But in today's video, I wanted to do something in a similar vein to that, and using a pre-existing car in an all-new version, I thought we should check out this. This is the Karin Sultan Classic Basic. This is the basic version of the Sultan Classic that came out just at the end of last year, beginning of this year, whenever it came out for GT Online. And this is basically just like the pedestrian model. This is the non-modified version. It's got a basic engine. This is like buying a Lancer instead of a Lancer Evo, or just buying like a base standard like non-turbo Impreza. This is like the same sort of thing. But this also looks very much like it would be like an RS model for the Evo. I know there's probably a similar one for the Impreza, but I don't really know Imprezas that well. But for the Evo, you could buy an Evo RS, and it came with steel wheels and plastic door handles and all that sort of thing. And I think they are more fun to modify because you actually like start with a far more basic thing. And that makes it perfect for modifying this because there are loads of tuning parts for this car. So we could turn it from this basic little thing here and turn it into a full modified Sultan Classic, which I think is what Rockstar should always do from the beginning. We always get like a souped up car and then we could just add some bits to it. I like the idea of starting with something completely basic like this and then building on that because I just think it's far more satisfying. So let's just find somewhere to park. We're going to have a quick comparison between this and the original Sultan Classic, and then I am going to modify it. And here we have the comparison of the two. We have the original Sultan Classic on the left, and then the Sultan Classic Basic on the right. Wow. I think I realized why I never do videos down here. This is crazy loud down here. We've got trains, we've got trucks, we've got factory machinery. Right, let's just try and get on with this. So the differences are, well, the front bumpers are different. It's actually the same front bumper, but it just doesn't have that splitter down the bottom, and it doesn't have the fog lights. Just makes it a lot more basic looking. On the side view, there is nothing really different. This one's got a slightly different side skirt. I wonder if I just played with this. No, this is actually the stock skirt. It's different to this one. This one has a smaller skirt. This one has a bigger skirt, but it's flatter. I'm not quite sure why that is. I would have thought that this one would have been the more basic one, but I guess this is like smooth and curved compared to this one, which is just basic and flat. I guess that's the rationale. It's just deeper than the rest of the bumpers, so it looked a bit off. But we do have the steel wheels instead of the alloy wheels. And then on the back, we don't have the spoiler. We don't have these little bits down the bottom here at the side. We just got like a smooth, flat bottom of the bumper. And also this just has a regular exhaust, and this has this one right here. Also the badging, this one says Karin Sultan, this one says Karin Twin Turbo 3.5. Oh, and the lights are different as well. This one's got like a more solid light. This one has this like weird LED style light where it's got like all the little lights in there. I actually prefer this one. I think this one looks way better. Now in terms of the engines, on the original Sultan Classic, we had this pretty meaty twin turbo setup right here, with the original Karin Sultan RS engine that they always use that just basically looks like an RB. However, in this one, we get something that looks more like a boxer engine, more that something that you would expect to find in something that's like an Impreza. Why is there loads of explosions going on? And I think that is a welcome change. This engine is cool and all, but it didn't really ever make sense in this car, whereas this does. This makes more sense. I'm definitely a fan of this one. Oh, yeah, and on the boot sides, the boots are pretty much identical. And the interiors, this one looks like this, pretty basic. And then this one, it's the same. It's actually the same. Right, so let's get modifying this. And first of all, I just want to get rid of this color because this green does just look awful. Actually, as this is a base model, I like the idea of doing this all up in white just to start off with. Then on the spoiler, we have the option of 17 spoilers. I'm pretty sure this is what we got on this one. So we have the low level, the primaries. We have those in different colors. We have the ducktails in different colors. Oh, I do like that. Then we have the street wing in the different colors right here. We have the primary GT wing, the performance wing, and then the Karin Extreme wing right there. I think I'm going to go for the Karin Extreme Wing Mark III because I do like that carbon fiber blade. And actually, this shaped blade, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the original version that I did of this video with this version of the Classic. But there is a wing like this for the Evo 6, and I really wish I could get it for mine. So because I can't, I'm just going to project and build it into this one. But yeah, this does look like an Evo 5 spoiler. On the front bumper, we have the stock. We have the touring bumper. Yeah, these are pretty much, this is the ugly bumper that we got on the original Classic. We have the street bumper, the GT bumper. Again, that looks like the Tommy Mäkinen bumper. It's definitely got some Evo parts in this. And then we have the drift bumper right here. I don't actually remember that one, but it's going to take me way too much time to compare both of these. So I'm just going to assume this was in the original. But for this, I want to go for that street bumper because I really like that look. Then on the rear bumper, we have the options of the extended lip. It's slightly different from the original. These are, we don't actually have like the bumpers like this bumper, I've noticed. Then we have the GT bumper and the drift bumper. That GT bumper is pretty solid. I'm going to go for that. Then on the skirts, we have the stock. We have the rubber extensions, which just sort of adds these sort of nailed in rubber bits. We have the street skirts, very Evo 6 style. Then we have the GT skirts, and then we have the tuner skirts. They all look absolutely awful. So I think I might actually just keep the stock thing on there, even though it's kind of flat. It's either that or I just go for the street skirts look and just have that sort of Evo-y side skirt look. Yeah, the green I think is secondary colour. We'll change that in a bit. On the exhaust, loads of options. We've got the stock twin pipe. We've got the race exhaust. We've got the burnt version. We've got the chrome tuner, which I think I might go for. We also have some track versions, performance, and the big bore. Oh no, I've got to go for the big bore, haven't I? Definitely got to go for that big bore. Oh, I do love myself a big bore exhaust. On the chassis, these are going to be roof spoilers. So we have this one here. We have the shark fin, the primary sun strip on the front, the secondary, the roof scoop, the secondary scoop, the dual scoop, the secondary dual, and the roof box, of course. For this one, I'm thinking of actually just taking for the roof scoop. I kind of like going for like this RS look, so I'm trying to make this like a modified RS, if I can. I'm really not feeling these side bumpers. Also, I've definitely changed my settings since I've reinstalled Windows. I really need to have a look at these shadow settings, I think. But as Rockstar probably make me restart the game, I'll have to do that for another video. Okay, for the side skirts, I'm going to go for the GT skirts, just because I think it's just going to match up better than the other one did. Then on the grille, we have, what are these? Oh, these are going to be light. Plastic housing around the lights. Or we're going to have primary colour, secondary colour, or carbon. I think just the plastic housing is fine. I want to go for that RS look, because obviously we've got like these plastic door handles as well. On the hood, we have the options of many different colours. Then we have, sticker bomb. We've got the vented in different combinations. We've got the Evo style bonnet. We have the proper Impreza STI WRX style. And then we got this one right here. I'm going to go for that GT hood, just in like that. Actually, did the Impreza have these as well? That's very Evo-esque. Maybe the Impreza did have those, I'm not sure. On the fenders, this is actually going to be the boot lid colour. So we have those in different colours. I'm just going to keep that stock. Then we also have, what's this? Oh, this is more options for spoilers here. We have another roof spoiler option in different colours. Also the bigger ducktail. And then the performance wing. I don't really like any of those. They don't really go. Man, this definitely looks like 2000s Japanese tuner style. But then the RS models always did look weird when they had sort of like a sort of kit and then like steel wheels and stuff. They always looked weird. We also have these roof color options, but no, we don't really want them. I'm going to do like a proper like nice build afterwards. I just want to kind of, for this one, I want to go for like the RS look, as if this is like the RS version of this. But obviously the bumpers will have to change slightly because, well, we don't really have anything that's like this sort of bumper. And then the suspension, we'll just stick it on street. I think we'll actually keep this white because I think this suits the whole RS aesthetic. And then I'm thinking for the wheels to actually just go for those standard wheels that we got on this. I mean, like, they're like a chrome, but we can just use this. They're just the Apex wheels. I just wanted to go for some like small wheels with chunky tires. Actually, if I just go for Apex, and they're like full wheels from this that have just been moved over. Then I'm also going to go to turbo. I don't think we have any extras. No. And I'm going to go to engine audio. And I'm just going to make this sound like the Sultan RS. It now sounds right. It looks right. And I have now made myself an RS model. So it's like a model in between the basic version and the original Classic. I think that's a winner. That works perfectly as like a slightly modified RS version that's just got like a few bits on there. Just like a nice, lightweight, RS spec street race car. That's perfect. I love it. But I do want to do another build on this. I do want to make something a bit more of like a show car build. So I'm going to do one more build and then we'll end the video. So let's go. Actually, I've just decided I'm going to do 2 last builds, because I've just had another idea. So let's see how this goes. Okay, and you're probably wondering, what on earth have you done to this car? Well, hang on, let me explain. So my idea behind this is basically someone who has bought the Karin Sultan Classic Basic, but they really wished that they had just bought like the full RS model. It's a non-turbo, they couldn't afford it, they really wish they could. And so instead, they decided to get this, but it was ratty, so they've painted it in matte black, and they stuck on like a sun strip, and then they put on a spoiler because they wanted a big spoiler on it, and they put an exhaust on, but nothing else was changed. And then they just put on like the completely just wrong wheels, massive with the wrong offset, so they're just tucked like really deep into the arch and looks horrible. And yeah, this is a bit of an interesting build because this isn't the usual cool build. I just thought this would be like a funny concept of like someone who really wished they'd bought a faster one but just didn't know how to modify a car properly. But I do want to do a nice build, a nice show car build. This is just a silly in-between idea that I just had. So let's now go for the main build. And here we are. Now, I couldn't really decide on the build for this third one because the thing is we've built so many of these Sultans that it's just very hard to try and get something that's different. And the chances are I probably built something that's similar to this before, but I decided to go for like the whole like stancy look. I went for like the ducktail spoiler and then this sort of like extra roof spoiler here. I tried to go for this bumper with the big, massive, of course, obviously the big boy exhaust. Gold wheels, because I wanted to sort of tie it back to the fact that it's an Impreza, just to sort of go back to its like gold-wheeled rally heritage. But obviously, it's sort of like a slammed Impreza on air ride that's obviously tried to look a bit more street than rally. And I don't know. I also went for Nardo Grey because I'm actually quite in the mood for grey cars at the minute. And you know what? I don't think it looks that bad. I've tried to make this as like super slammed and flush as possible, which to be honest is perhaps just a little bit too much. So I could probably go up right there on the front and rear just a little bit. But here we go. And I also put the original engine in and made it fast with the turbo noises. That's pretty good. I like it. I've got to say that I do think that this basic just fits in so much better inside of the GTA universe, and then it just allows people to use mods to make it more like the Sultan Classic that they brought out. I just like the idea of starting with something a bit more basic instead of us being given something that's already quite souped up. It's just a repair vehicle there. There's some terrible driving by me. I'm driving with a keyboard as always, and I'm still not that great at it. But it's very difficult to use the controller and then use menus, mod and everything else and look at the camera, so I have to use the keyboard. But yeah, I really think that Rockstar should bring out more cars like this instead of having to wait for mod makers to make it for us. But it's also equally amazing that we have mod makers that can do all this for us and bring all this to GTA 5, even if it's just for the single player campaign and not for GTA Online, which to be honest is definitely the cheaper option. Also, I just want to say, because I did a video on this last week, I decided to do a video on automation, making my own car in an 80s style. It ended up being like an old Ford Fiesta. I really like those videos. I've actually had a lot of good comments on them. So I'm glad you guys have enjoyed that video. But for those of you who missed it, because I think YouTube sort of didn't tell a lot of people that I posted that video because it wasn't GTA 5 related, just to let you know it's out there and I want to do more. So if you want to go check that video out and support it, I would greatly appreciate it. But that's going to be it for this one. If you want to download this mod, as always, with all the mods I check out, the link will be in the description below. So you can go and check it out and download it for yourself. And because some of you guys have been asking, I will do a video, an updated video on how to install mods for 2020 for GTA 5. Because I know that there's some things I said in the previous one that don't always apply. And I've had some comments about it. So I'm going to make a redo of that video coming up very soon. In Friday's video, we're going to be checking out the most downloaded mod for July of 2020. But that's it. If you got all the way to the end of the video, you can say, what words can we find around here? What does this say? Oh, yeah, okay, we can say bin operations. There you go. You can say bin operations in the comment section below just to let me know that you watched the whole thing. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.